What is up, guys? Pie Muffin here, and we are back with probably my final Tales of Luminaria video. I haven't made a video on Luminaria in a while because there were just so many games coming out, I couldn't get caught up on the Luminaria episodes, but part of me is almost glad that I did not, catch up. First, I want to say, I feel bad for everyone. There are lots of people who, love the characters, love this world. Obviously the game was a work in progress. You see it right in front of you. The game is shutting down. Just go ahead and say that. I don't know how many people felt this way, but there were just a lot of people who saw the writing on the wall. They released Luminaria shortly after. I don't even remember what came first. If Luminaria came out first, and then Christoria's shutdown announcement happened. But everyone pretty much saw the writing on the wall. Luminaria had so many kind of like issues when the game released. Plus, I just personally feel like a gacha game full of characters no one knows just wasn't going to sell well. Plus, just the system that the game had, it didn't make people feel like they had to summon. Let's just go ahead and read this, and then I'll continue saying what I'm saying. We regret to announce the closure of Tales of Luminaria Anime Games. I still feel like that was a very weird name to say Anime Games at the end. Thank you for all your support, and we hope you enjoyed playing. We will be keeping the servers open until July 19, 2022, so please continue to enjoy Tales of Luminaria Anime Games. It's still a dumb name. Until the very end. All items can be used until the last day, so if you have any items or PB stones in your account, please use them before July 19, 2022. So that pretty much gives us, 2 months and like a week? Also, from today, we're disabling the purchase of PB stones. It's actually funny, I just renewed my monthly Noble Pass yesterday, like literally last night. So it's funny that that's kind of like a waste. But yeah, what do I even say? I mean, I liked the idea of an original cast like this. Like, you have a bunch of characters who all different walks of life, and each chapter is following a different one. But, it's just like, I don't know. I don't know what exactly was that made this game just not kick off so well. I'm going to go down a number of things. It did not need to be. A lot of people are probably going to be, against this. It did not need to be dubbed. It did not need an English dub. Tales is not that worldwide known where an English dub needs to be in a mobile game. I know a lot of people probably don't want to hear that, but it's honestly the truth because they cost so much extra money. And they got all these top of the line English actors. Like, if you were going to do a dub, at least, like, I don't know, try to manage your money a little bit, but they got like the most well-named people in like the English anime voice acting like industry, and of course it was going to be expensive. On top of the game having very good, graphics and animations, realistically it should have been a console game. They should have made this a Switch game, even if they wanted to make it Switch exclusive, like just make it kind of like a side project. It should have just been a Switch game, have 21 different campaigns and have a fully fleshed out story, and, you can gear your characters, what have you. So the first thing is like that, yeah, it did not need an English dub. Even Final Fantasy does not always have dubs for their mobile games. Final Fantasy, Dissidia Opera Omnia, also an equipment gacha, does not have a dub. I mean, for obvious reasons, it doesn't have a dub because it has characters from all the different Final Fantasies. That would just be ridiculous to expect that would even happen. But yeah, like, obviously it did not, I don't think it needed to be English dubbed, especially with how, English Tales games just have done here in the West. Tales of Link actually is the longest lasting English Tales game, or English Tales gacha game here in the West. Obviously Ray's didn't last a year. Christoria lasted about a year and a half, and now Luminaria is lasting even less than Ray's did. I think Luminaria is just over 6 months. So English Ray's, which had no like promotion whatsoever, did better than Luminaria, which Luminaria got its own like anime episode. That's another thing to bring up. People are like, oh, what's going to happen with the anime? It was never going to be a full anime. It's kind of like how Cristoria got that one animation for like the beginning of the game. That's all that was. It was that one episode to bridge in the interlude, and they were probably going to do that again once everyone got their chapter 2s. It's probably, the story's probably just going to go, I don't even know if they're going to keep, because there's nothing like on, let me see. Yeah, they haven't even posted anything about this. Like, the last thing they posted was about a maintenance yesterday. But they haven't posted anything about this. Like, obviously we do have, it's gonna depend. We have to see what's gonna happen for this coming Wednesday. Like, are they gonna keep doing, because last week we got who? It was, Hugo's, second episode. So are we even going to see like the rest of the episode 2s, or is that going to be it? Like Hugo's was the final one, and then now we're just gonna the game is going to be basically dead for 2 months. So yeah, that's obviously the voice actors are another thing, the animations are another thing. Just coming off the heels of shutting down another Tales mobile game that, a lot of fans were really upset about. Of course, people weren't going to spend on this game. Of course, both on English and Japanese sides, they're very nervous about this. The only other 2 Tales mobile games that are still living are Asteria and Raze. Asteria lives because it is very cheap to maintain. There is not a lot in Asteria. You're basically just, you're summoning for a picture. Because even in battle, you don't see the character moving themselves. You see the picture pop up, and it does like a normal like Mystigard animation. And then of course it's got voice lines and stuff, but it's very easy to maintain. It doesn't cost a lot. And then Raze is like semi easy to maintain, plus it makes a ton more money. They live off of the fan service they give by it actually playing like a Tales game. And of course, the stuff that they actually put out there for how the characters work. Like, that's obviously how a Tales gacha, is working its best. The other thing is, Luminaria didn't really require people to have to summon. Even from, like, day one, like, it wasn't like, yeah, it might have been a little bit harder, but you literally didn't have a reason to summon. It's like, okay, you get a better Mystigard, but you can still, like, level up your character and still fight normally. Plus, everyone had the same arts. Like, the arts weren't even arts. They were just magic blast attacks. So it didn't even feel like there weren't any, like, arts that were actually, like, physical attacks. Besides, you might have a mystic art. And, each character's, like, special skills sometimes. But that was the other thing, is just, like, it really just felt kind of wonky for, like, a Tales project. And it sucks because this game did get a lot of promotion. Really fast, by the way. They announced it and they were like, oh, by the way, it's coming out here in like, just a couple months. And then, because they really wanted the fans who like the Rise to have something to tide them over until whatever it is they come out with next. But obviously, they rushed things too hard. The game was not ready, just like Cristoria when it first came out. And it died before it should have. And the thing is, it's a really, like, it's a good story. Like, from what I've played, like, obviously, I haven't made videos on it in a very long time, and I'm still in the, like, episode 1s, but I'm almost at, like, the interlude stuff. But what I played, like, it's still fun. Like, it's still a good story. Like, I'm enjoying it. I don't know if I would say it's, like, it still, to me, doesn't feel like a Tales story, but the characters are still fun to, like, watch and see what they do. And that's the other thing. They just gave us the Japanese voices on the English version. Like, what was the point of that if you were just going to shut down, like, 3 or 4 weeks later? But yeah, overall, it's like, there were just so many, like, they were really trying to make this, like, a high-tier gacha when Tales just doesn't have that kind of audience. Like, it has a decent audience, but it doesn't have the audience of, like, some of these really, like, high-quality gacha, series that have gachas. And I just think they need to, if they are going to make another mobile, they're obviously going to make more mobile games in the future, but they need to, like, maybe tone back how much quality they're putting in. When I say quality, I mean, like, the graphics and stuff and the animations. Like, for the most part, Tales fans don't need things to look like a console quality game. You know, I feel like if they came out with something that looked like Tales of Link again, I'm pretty sure most Tales fans would be fine with it. As long as it's fun and, you know, you're collecting the characters that you want to collect and that kind of stuff, I think people will be fine with it. And that brings me to another point. I am almost certain they're not going to do another original only project for a very long time. If we get another Tales mobile game, it is definitely going to be a crossover title again. Maybe an only crossover title, kind of like Asteria, where there's not really any original characters, but it does have its own original story. I see them doing that and wanting to count on the fan service of the, you know, Tales characters that everyone knows and loves. And that's the other hard part. Because the Twitter hasn't, like, stated anything yet, we don't know if they have any sort of plans to, like, obviously with Crestoria, right as it shut down, they said, okay, we are going to make a manga. There has been no, and it's only been like less than an hour since the notice went live in game, as of recording this video. But at this point, you know, they have yet to say anything about whether they are actually going to, you know, are they going to make a full-on anime? Are they going to make a manga as well? Are they going to eventually make... I don't even think they'll even go that far. I think this is going to be one of those things where they're just going to say, sorry, it's shutting down, and that's it. And, you know, they're going to expect people might forget about it until these characters end up in Asteria or Rays or any future mobile games that come out. It is a shame because these characters never got to get any, like, Tales of Festival merchandise. And I don't know if they ever will. So that's kind of sucks, but, you know, this is pretty much, once Crestoria was shutting down, pretty much most people expected this would happen with Luminaria. It was just a matter of when. And unfortunately, it looks like it barely made it, 6 months. I think this might be the shortest a Tales game has ever lived for, and it's like I said, you know, and the other thing is, the game was a story-only game. There was no... Besides these multiplayer boss battles, which were very boring after you do them once or twice, there wasn't any content besides just playing the story. Like, obviously, they wanted it to be the kind of game where you just, okay, every Wednesday you pick up the game, you play an hour story, and then you're fine not playing the game. But that doesn't work for a gacha game. Like, that doesn't work for a mobile game because, it doesn't work for a mobile game because... Obviously, the way that you make money in mobile games is by having content that people want to summon for. But if people can get through your content without having to spend a penny, then they are not going to spend a penny. So that's pretty much where we're at. Let me see if they've updated anything on the official website. I'm sure they have a notice here. It's probably going to pop up right as you open the website. Nope. Maybe they haven't... Have they, like, not updated the website? Oh my god, they haven't even updated the website since, like, the end of... Oh my god, there's, like, no news on the actual website. There's a tab called Coming Soon. Maybe that's, like, the shutdown notice. Yeah, they haven't even updated the website yet to talk about the shutdown notice. But yeah, they haven't even updated these things. Like, you can't go to the website and see what's going on with the game or anything. I mean, it's a shame, but this is where we're at. I don't expect we're going to hear news about a new Tales mobile game for a very long time. Maybe even, like... I don't even know if the next one will even come out here to the West. There is a very good chance that the West might not get another Tales mobile game. Or at least, like, the next game might not come to the West. It just really depends what they decide to do, because after Ray's not even lasting a year in English a few years back, you know, back in, like, 2017, 2018, Crestoria shutting down in barely over a year, and then Luminaria shutting down in 6 months, I don't know if the Western side is going to see it as a beneficial thing. So, I mean, we'll have to see what happens, but I think I've rambled on long enough. Long story short, Tales of Luminaria is shutting down. It's unfortunate. I don't know if I'm going to keep the game on my phone until it shuts down. I really couldn't tell you. Maybe I will still try and catch up and read what the game has to offer before it shuts down here in July, but it just sucks, and I do feel bad for everyone who, you know, fell in love. If you fell in love with any of these characters, and you know you started to love this world, like I do feel bad. It's the sad truth about gacha games. You know, they eventually go away. Eventually, you know, Raze will one day, the Japanese version will shut down, and Asteria will shut down, but we'll have more games to replace them in the future. But we'll just have to see, you know, what they do with that. It just sucks because we had such a good start of Tales kind of getting a better reputation again. With Arise, like Arise was so well received. I enjoyed it. It was a great game, realistically. But then they go and have these kinds of things happen, and now people wonder, like, what are they going to do with the series now? Like, they had their one good thing, and then they take 2 steps backward. So it's really just going to depend what they do next. I don't know when Tales of Festival is going to happen. That's probably the most realistic time to expect something new to be talked about, but we'll just have to see what they do. But that's going to be it, guys. Sorry, my next Luminaria video for the first time in like 2 or 3 months has to be a shutdown notice video, but this is where we're at. So I guess let me know what you guys think down below. Don't forget to subscribe for more if you're new to the channel. I'll see you all next time. Have a wonderful day, everyone.